In Ecuador, Lenin Moreno has been declared the winner of a closely run presidential election. He won just 51% of the vote, but his pro-business opponent, Guillermo Lasso, says he's been the victim of electoral fraud and has asked for a recount. While the head of the Ecuadorian Electoral Council says the results must be accepted.
It is important that today we respect the people. Not one vote has been taken or given away to anyone here. We fulfilled our duty to the country. We fulfilled our duty to democracy, and we fulfilled our duty to the will of the sovereign expressed at the polls.
Well, for more on this, let's speak to Carolina Loza-Leon. She's joining us from Quito. Carolina, good to speak to you. So what's been the reaction now that Lenin Moreno has been declared the winner?
It has been quite a mixed reaction, and it has brought a lot of tension, not only in the capital, Quito, but in several cities across the country. The Amazon region, for instance, has a very anti-Correa stance, and there has been clashes in several towns. In Quito, I was able to witness some of the counts from an observation from international observers. After polls closed, and it was a very, very tense environment during poll close because it has been such a close race. So it is quite a tense environment around the city at this point.
And that tension, I assume, Carolina, has only been heightened by the fact that Guillermo Lasso is now claiming fraud and wanting to have a recount.
Yes, it has definitely exacerbated this tension. Ecuadorians have been very divided, and this has only heightened that division. He had, after the first round, he had several observers around in the different polling stations. To this day, they have recruited volunteers to observe the elections, and they allege that there has been irregularities when it comes to vote counting, which the Electoral Council denies, and they have to prove this. So it seems these allegations did not have a strong basis, but are also heightening the tension, and why you have people right now outside the Electoral Council protesting.
I mean, is there any concern that Guillermo Lasso's actions could just cause any violence on the streets? Because, as you say, he has to prove his charge at the moment. He's offered no evidence.
There has been violence from both sides. We had colleagues, journalists, beaten up. There are several people. There's no point where you can have people from any of the two parties together without having any tensions or even violence. So police have been deployed across town, and Ecuadorians do hope that this doesn't mean a setback in terms of political terms, because this was not seen since Correa took power 10 years ago. So it is also a test for Ecuadorians in terms of the political stage we're in at this point.
And Carolina, just explain that divide between the two sides. Obviously, Lenin Moreno is a leftist candidate. Guillermo is seen as a more pro-business candidate, and that has really divided the country, and also will be a sign as to which direction Ecuador is going in for the next few years.
Yes, Ecuador has, as I said, it is a test for Ecuadorians if either they stay on this pink tide, the so-called pink tide of the region, or if they decide to go for a more conservative government. But also, Guillermo Lasso has had a very conservative approach to politics, but also a very controversial past. And his role during the worst economic crisis in this country, but also Correa's leadership style, which was very strong and very confrontational at times, has created this divide and has eroded this divide. Moreno, on the other hand, is a softer Correísmo, as you could say. He's more on the dialogue side from País, Correa's party. However, these divisions that have been exacerbated over the years have come and have reached a breaking point, as I would say. And it's not only about the divides created by different ideologies, but it's also where the country will head next. And it's also in a time where the Ecuadorian economy is not doing so well.
Well, that's just what I wanted to come on to, Carolina, finally. I mean, how is the economy at the moment? And will the leftist policies of Lenin Moreno be able to help the country go forward?
That's a question many people have, because Moreno has these social welfare programs that he has been promoting in the days before the election, but no one exactly knows how they're going to be implemented and with what money. The country has a huge debt because it depends on oil revenue, and it's the third year with low oil prices that the country has to face a deficit. So economics, it's a big concern for most people, and many people that were voting for Lasso were doing so, and because of his promise of 1 million jobs, that also people did not know how he was going to manage that. So economics, job creation is one of the biggest concerns people have, and what it resumes to at the end of the day, what's going to happen next to this country, despite of who is the leader of the country, which we at this point are not sure of.
Okay, we do wait and see what happens. Carolina, thanks for joining us.